Alright, so I'm going to try to do a second video so it's a little bit less long. First of all, Ithaca College, Rick Beato did teach there, but he wasn't a professor. He was an associate. He got tenure there. That means he was working for his degrees as an associate, an assistant. So no, he wasn't a full-fledged professor. He only ended up with a jazz classical bachelor's degree from there and worked on his master's in jazz in New England, another private school. You know, you're just paying for your fucking degrees. Although Rick is smart in theory. But was he ever certified? I don't think so. Based on experience through the colleges, they gave him an accredit. But this makes it even worse. So if you think that he's a professional instructor and knows education very well, which means he's a very smart man, then you take in a very smart man, and that goes against everything in a court of law. You can't cry you don't know what the fuck you're doing when you got all these degrees and are a very well educated man, especially in music, because they'll use that against you in a court of law. Mr. Beato, you cry that you don't know, and you crying victim that you know they're coming after you, but isn't it true that you're the one posting the videos and not demonetizing them? Yeah. Isn't it true that you have 400 claims? Yeah. Isn't it true that you can demonetize that video with a little click of a box that you have access to when you upload a video? Yeah. Then what the fuck is your problem? You violate policy on purpose. You see how this is going to go? Now, this isn't going to be about Rick Beato. It's about who Rick Beato is going up against. Does anyone, I see it, and this is why it's pissing me off. I see all these comments, do a countersuit. There is no lawsuit to begin with, so there can't be a countersuit. Well, you know, I'm a DJ, and we used to have bands on, and Universal used to harass us. Bullshit. When I played in one of the biggest bands in the world, Expose, we went around and Pantera would get, clearance with the labels and this and that. And so we would go on tour. And we didn't go on a promotional tour. We were touring, playing, and we would do guitar clinics or music interviews with radio stations that morning of the show. Everything was cleared. They give you 5 songs you can play acoustically, and you get to pick 3 for the radio, so you can mix them up from city to city or whatever you wanted to do. So that's a complete fabricated lie from somebody that says he's a DJ. These people love to put out misinformation. Misinformation. Now Tucker Carlson, which he's okay for me, he just did an interview with Aaron Lewis. He says everything that I say exactly the way it said. The machine. You can go and watch the interview. If you question he says everything I say. How do I know this? Because I was in the business at a high level. I know Bill that runs fucking Perishing Square. Perishing Square? Who the fuck is that? Exactly. It's above anyone's pay grade, including the President of the United States. The fuck are you talking about? Perishing Square owns everything. CNBC, Nike, Amazon, YouTube, Google, Universal Music Group. They own fucking parts of everything. Hilton, Hertz, Target, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Tim Hortons, Buzzies in New York. How the fuck you know all this? There's no sign around here. How do you know all this? Bill's a friend of mine. I deal with Universal Music Group. I just talked to the royalty department 2 days ago. 2 days ago. No, yesterday. Day ago. I have a problem with Morgan. They pissed me off, so I'm trying to get Universal to take over my royalty checks for me. So who is perishing? They own all those companies, including Universal Music Group. And guess who's on the board? Bill. What did I send to Bill? I said, Bill, you need to fucking put the hammer to the metal. Put the pedal to the metal and don't let him up. You need to bury this as fast as possible and stop it. Don't take his strikes away. Why? Because if you take his away, then you gotta take everyone's away. And then that leads to a fucking global problem. I said, he lies about everything. What do you mean? Well, he's saying that he beats all these claims, when in fact, he's not beating the claims. What he does is he has 4 days to remove the video. Inside that 4 days, he can state he thinks that you're wrong on the claim. Yeah. Then you have 90 days. In that 90 days, he does YouTube copyright school. And then after 90 days, even if you complete the school in 30, that strike stays on for 90. But if you see completed that school, then you do whatever YouTube thinks is right. And that is to split the money, or all the money goes to the artist. And the video stays up with no strike, right? Yes. So he's claiming he beats these with a lawyer. Really? Yes. We both know that that's not how it works. We both also know that Rick can't beat you. He's at the mercy of the companies. Because not only is there Pershing Square, there's Tencent, who's a Chinese company. Well, who are they? They own Roblox, Fortnite, all the gaming things. And Spotify. So Universal's shareholder also owns Spotify, and Pershing owns part of YouTube with Google, Alphabet Inc. You see how the circle is working together? It's the perfect storm. And Rick's gonna get caught in it. He doesn't have any fucking idea who he's going against, does he? You guys don't. You guys have no idea. You're not gonna go and look all this up and stuff. Now, how do I know Bill? Bill's my age. We go back a long time ago. China Club, Limelight, back in the old days. He loves music. Probably why he likes Universal Music Audio, Universal Music Group, and bought shares in it. Is he a good guy? He's a great guy. But if you don't, I've seen the movie before. I don't want a part of that movie. I don't even want to fucking read the script. We all know how those movies end. When you have a company that's in control of billions and billions and billions and billions of shares, like Uber. I think he's got like 30 million shares. Not dollars, shares. So then you times that times $10 a share times the 30 million shares. Do the math. He owns companies like that all over. 40 million shares, 30 million shares, 25 million shares, 70 million shares. It's in all those companies. If you don't think they pay in the parliament and in our government people to be put in those positions to regulate their companies in favor of them, and presidents and judges and attorneys working for the government, you are sadly fucking mistaken. So let's look at the other scenarios. YouTube goes out and Rick Beato's fight. I'm gonna get him. Thank you, I'm the victim. No, you're not the victim. You're the asshole that's perpetrating the crimes that it's going to force YouTube to put policies against everybody. And then you're going to, everybody on YouTube making money? I'm sorry, top music attorney. You got to actually go practice law now. Jared Dines, you're just going to have, this is for fun now. No more monetization. We'll end it for everybody. We don't have to worry about the algorithms putting copyright strikes because it's demonetized across the board. You don't think that's how it was at one time? He didn't make money. This was all fun. You don't think they could go back to that? You don't think they get consultants and lawyers and all kinds of people and different and writers and insurance people figuring out the best possible scenario? I think it's going to become demonetized, all of YouTube. That's my personal opinion. I didn't hear that, but that's the easiest fix. And you know what, how I base that? It's like class schools. One person talks, the whole class suffers. That's how you nip it in the bud. Everyone suffers because of one person's stupidity. That's how I took my martial arts test. You got to jog the outer perimeter, Coral Springs. One of you quits, you all fail. How is that fair? Because you work as a team. And when you don't work as a team, you fail. And Rick Beato, you're a highly educated music associate professor. You should understand copyright because you're in music, but you keep violating it, correct? Yes. 400 times correct. Yes. How is it you're crying victim and you don't understand how copyright works, but yet you're supposed to be a fucking professor in music? See, he's playing a fucking game and everyone's falling for it. Because I'm Rick Beato, I'm a nice guy. They're trying to take me down and I can only... You know how many people those people I've seen when I've been in jail? Wasn't me, man. You gotta help me, it wasn't me. I'm not the one. Shut the fuck up. He's blatantly violating policy. 400 times. Now again, the video comes down in 4 days, no copyright strike. If you put a claim up against the claim, you got 90 days where that copyright stays up. If you complete the YouTube copyright class in the 90 days, that strike comes off. And they demonetize your video or split the funds according to what the publisher wants. But if you had gotten permission from the publisher beforehand, and he may have just said, see, because when you start pissing off the publisher and he goes, he used my shit for what? No, demonetize the video. Where Rick could say, listen, can I put your content in my video? I'll split the proceeds from whatever I make off of that video. If it's $40, you get 20, I get 20, and I make it a little more relevant. Maybe you can even come on the show. That's fair. That would be fair use. Because now it's fair for each side. It's fair for the people that wrote it, and it's fair for the people who want to claim that they're making you famous again, which they're not. You know, well, he's exposed me and I spent $200. That's great, but he ain't getting the band's millions of dollars back on the radio. That's not happening either. Name one band that he's revived their career. Nobody. I haven't heard of him putting a band back on the charts, have you? So, nah, that's all bullshit and lies and made up feeling things and points of argument, but the facts are the facts. Didn't happen. He's an associated professor, not a full professor, and he got that through tenure at private universities. And second, he's going against some of the biggest elitists in the world, conglomerates. And they all work together in that perfect storm. Let me explain to you something. When I was famous and I walk into a building and people hold the doors and stuff, when Bill walks into a building, he's got 50 guys with guns clearing the fucking hallways, the lobbies, everywhere looking, and then he walks in. That's not even remotely close to the world I live. Not even close to what the president lives in. He's more secure than Trump. Why? I think he's probably somewhere, if I was to guess, $15-20 billion just in his portfolio alone. But that's what he's made, with investing with all these companies and getting investors to go in with them. But if you add up all those shares with the share number, you're talking trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. How are you going to beat that? Has anyone talked about this and who Universal is and who the shareholders are? No, because people are ignorant to the fact of doing actual research. You will not beat this group. Sorry. And not only is it one with Universal Music, There's like $5 trillion worth companies. Ain't gonna happen. It's a lose-lose for everybody. Not just him, for everybody. Push the cat in the corner, he's gonna fight back. And the easiest solution is to penalize everybody. I've been taught that since the beginning of time. You penalize in groups so that you have others that get penalized and they think it's not fair. And then when they see it happening, they say, knock it off. Remember what happened last time? We all couldn't go to the movies. That's how my sisters were. Stop doing that. You're going to get us in trouble again. That's how you get the others to conform. Don't say I didn't warn you. Somebody probably should even send this to Rick because he's not fucking listening. I try to get in contact with him. I tried to warn him about who he's going up against because he's too ignorant to fucking research it. And he ain't got no fucking lawyers. He's got his management team, his old band. How do I know? Because that's who contacted me, one of his old band members. I looked it up. They all work for him. That's a bunch of loaded shit crap, his lawyers. Rick, you're going to have to shit or get off the pot. You're going to have to make a decision. Do you take a chance and fuck it up for everybody? Where are you going to go outside? Let's say all these YouTube creators got to go to work. They're going to be outside and you're going to go get your coffee and one of them might be working at Starbucks. You ruined my fucking channel, motherfucker. Dude, I don't want no part of that. See, you're not thinking about that side of it. Again, I've seen this movie run 10 different times with 10 different versions. Michael Myers 1, Michael Myers 2, Michael Myers 3. Can't kill the boogeyman. The machine's here to stay. You, people like you come and go. Peace out. I'm sorry I haven't been playing. I haven't been feeling good. We'll get back to some music videos. I go Friday. See what they say. I got the disc. We'll do the scan. Don't worry. I'm not worried. Life is what it is. Thank you for all your concerns and everything. I really appreciate you guys. And I appreciate you guys listening to what I have to say. And the smart ones will take and learn from it. So if I get through to one person, these videos are well worth it. If I can help educate one person about this kind of matter and who it is, and yeah, he's right. Who is Universal Music Group? Could you beat them? Let me call a music attorney and see what they say. Do you know who Pershing is? You know who Universal Music is, right? Yeah. But do you know who the shareholders are? No. Why not? So you're looking for a music attorney that's going to deal with Universal Music? Those are the kind of questions you want to see. So, like, I'm trying to do some other stuff. And yesterday, the same law firm called me 2 or 3 times. And I talked to the person that was handling my situation. And I said, you got everything. It should be in your email. Excuse me. So she said, okay. Her name's Anna. Then I had 2 other people from the same firm call me. And I said, here's my problem with this. You guys aren't detailed enough. What do you mean? I've already talked to Anna. It's in the system. You didn't go back and look. You just have a chart that you go off of. And you're not double checking yourself to be detailed enough to understand that somebody already called me. And it scares me that you work for this firm and they allow you to work for this firm when you're not double checking to make sure that everything's taken care of and that you're making the correct call. I'm so sorry. That scares me. Why? Because you're not dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Make sense? I called Coral Springs Police Department this morning. I said, you have an investigator parked in the no parking zone. You know, they can park wherever they want. I said, I understand that, but it's a bad look on your department. What do you mean? You're going to write tickets for the very same thing that you're doing? How does that look good? You violate policy and cry about it and think that you're a non-educated person and play dumb at the same time as wanting to be known as a educated person, not a good look in a court. They said, well, what are you saying? Well, the school crossing guards park 100 feet from where the guys parked in the school parking lot. How come the investigator, who's not really a cop, who's just helping with whatever, and I don't even know why he's there, because there's a cop across the street, why isn't he parked like in the median where the police park, or why isn't he parked in the school parking lot so that he's following the policy and the rules that you're trying to write tickets for? It's not a good... You can't arrest somebody for stealing when you steal. It's not a good look. You can't write parking tickets when you're illegally parked. It's not a good... Well, he can't really write tickets. Well, then why is he fucking even there? Let him park in the school parking lot and help with the crossing guards. We have lost detailed research or education based on educating ourselves. There's no excuse for ignorance. There's no excuse for crying victim. Educate yourself. See who you're going up against, your best possible scenarios, your outcome, consequences on the action you take. Is it worth this? Is it worth that? Is it worth the gain of this to lose that? You run for politics, they're going to go after your family and smear you. Is it worth that to get there, to make money and be hated in the public? No. Is it going to be where they can control you from both sides to run and be this for the millions of dollars that you can make from corporations that put people in power to regulate them? It's a tough decision to make. But it's an easy one when you educate yourself. When you let your feelings get in and you see the money, oh, I want that. I'll be rich. I'll be powerful. Yeah, but what about all the consequences that come with that? Because you did it in the wrong light, with the wrong intent. I understand you want to feed your family and it's a great life. But you're going to have to go through a lot of negative consequences come with that territory. All I'm saying is, if this helps somebody, more power to them. If you want to come on here and say, Rick is this and Rick is that, more power to you. I'm glad that you got frauded. What do you mean frauded? He's failed in every aspect of music. His band failed, his production company failed, his management company failed, his record label failed. What made him famous? A viral video of his kid with perfect pitch. Everything else was poor decisions because he didn't research it. This is another failed attempt, but this one might affect you. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed the video.